Hello everybody, my name is Robert and this is Review Clue. And today I have a just over 6-month review of the Delonghi ECAM 23460S bean to cup coffee machine. Now, if you haven't seen my original unboxing and first taste video, it'll be up there or down in the description below if you want to watch it, but basically the TLDR was the first cup of coffee I ever made with this thing was rather sour. But thankfully over the last 6 months it's produced much better coffee and much more consistent coffee. I would even go as far as to say this is potentially the best and most consistent coffee I've ever had. So let's get right into this review. But of course, if this is the first time that you're seeing my face on your screen, then 1, lucky you, and 2, go down there, smash that subscribe button, high five that bell notification icon so you get notified every time I upload. I've got a load more content coming and I would really love to have you on board. Let's get this out of the way right off the bat. This machine is a lot of work. You will be continually having to maintain it in one way or another, be that replacing water filters, which is going to cost you about £11 every 3 months or so, emptying the ground container, cleaning out the milk frother, and even going as far as to cleaning the brew unit every few months as well. So if you're looking for a quick and lazy coffee, this certainly is not it. But what this continued maintenance does do is it helps to produce some of the best and most consistent coffee I've ever tasted. In coffee types, someone mentioned in my previous video that I didn't give recommendations on coffee beans and that my video was useless because of this. But there was a reason I decided to do that, and that's because coffee beans are a very subjective thing. For example, I like a really dark roast, whereas my partner likes a really fresh, lighter roast. And honestly, it just comes down to personal opinion, so I can't really give you any recommendations. I personally buy from a company called Union Coffee. I'll drop a link in the description down below. They do a massive range of beans, and I suggest you buy a couple of taster packs, try it out, see which you like the most, because I can guarantee you that my tasting coffee will certainly be different to yours. Anyway, back to the machine. So you can use 2 types of coffee with this machine. You can of course use the whole bean and it will grind it down, or you can use pre-ground coffee as well. The bean hopper does have an adjustment knob along the top which you can turn to make a coarser or more fine grind. This will again depend upon your taste, whether you like a more full body or whether you like a slightly more mellowed taste. You would change that dial based upon it. This dial can only be turned while the grinder is actually working, so it's worth just adjusting this as one of your first ports of call when using this machine. One thing to note here is I did find that as the machine was being used and as it was grinding, that dial did turn a little, so it's worth going back to it every couple of months, just checking that it's still in the correct spot, because it's got moving parts, it's gonna nudge and move. So as I noted, the machine can also take pre-ground, and this is really nice because sometimes I don't always want a caffeinated coffee, I sometimes want a decaffeinated coffee, and I can do this by just dumping in 1 spoonful of pre-ground coffee for the decaf, and I can have a decaf coffee. I don't have to clean out the bean hopper, put decaf beans in, let it grind. It is worth noting here though as well that if you do want that pre-ground, you have to make sure that you've got the correct setting for beans by just pressing that bean button a couple of times till you see the words pre-ground on screen. Taste. Let's get taste out of the way before we talk about usability on the machine. As I spoke of before, this coffee is continuously consistent. You always get this really nice crema on the top. It's not too much, as I did find with the Nespresso Virtuo machines. This is a nice natural crema. They were also the perfect temperature as well, which is something that you can change in the settings, but I found that these weren't too hot that it was burning the beans, but it wasn't too cold that it wasn't brewing it properly. It was the perfect temperature at the level 3 for me, and I could pretty much drink it out of the machine. So milk drinks are very much the same. You have a little dial on your milk frother to decide just how much foam you want, so you can make anything from a latte to a cappuccino. The foam is normally very good. I find that it's never too thick, the milk is never too hot, it's never been boiled too much, but my only real concern is the milk never comes out as hot as I would like. No matter how I run this thing, the milky drinks like lattes and cappuccinos are always a little bit cold. So maybe that's something to improve on there. And Delonghi do have a couple of different ways that they suggest you work with that milk to get it to the right temperature. For example, taking the milk out of the fridge about half an hour before you want to make the drink, making sure that your cup is warmed on the cup warmer, and so on. But this is a lot of work, and I just wish that the milk was hotter when it actually came out of the machine in the first place. Build quality and looks. So let's talk about how this thing looks, because this thing's going to be living in your space for a long time. Personally, I think it looks great, and it's built like a tank. This thing is heavy, you don't want to be moving it, and you probably wouldn't be moving it. Placing it in the side of the room, I think it blends into my space quite nicely, but it does have a rather industrial look, which can sometimes not fit with the less modern designs within kitchens. Due to its size though, it is worth checking whether you can actually fit this thing in your space before buying, because it is quite large. Customization. This machine comes with a massive range of customizations, from water temperature, cup size, strength, and even water hardness, to ensure that you always get the best coffee no matter how you use it. Once again, it's worth playing with these settings before you get started, because you will want to dial those in to get them just right for you. So it might take you 7 or 8 cups to find that perfect spot for you, but it's totally worth doing in this case. Personally, I found that the cup sizing that's here is perfect for my cups, but this may vary again. I've got just normal Costa cups, and the extra long coffee fits perfectly within this mug. So you can also do hot water and milk-based drinks as well. So I use this machine to make my partner's teas and to brew hot chocolates. So overall, this is a great machine to have, even if you aren't a primarily coffee drinker. The machine can be programmed to turn on and off at certain times of the day, and this is a really nice feature so that it can warm up the machine and get itself ready. So when you get out of bed, all you've got to do is place that cup underneath, hit the button, and it makes your drink. A really nice feature, and the cup warmer along the top as well will be warming up in that time. I can fit 2 cups up there, and it just helps to keep that coffee warm and to make a warmer brew in general when you're working with all hot cups. So do I recommend this machine? Well, yes and no. For its recommended retail price, I find it really hard to recommend to anyone. It's a lot of money, but I very often see this thing on sale for between £300 and £400, and for that price I cannot recommend it enough. If you really want that barista style coffee at home, and you want to put the effort in to get that amazing coffee every time, then this is a perfect machine for you. Anyway guys, my name's been Robert, this has been Review Clue, and I will catch you in the next one. Adios.